afternoon and welcome back to Web TV. I'm your host Terryanne CHEBET, and with me in studio is Aboubaker Omar HADI, the CEO of Djibouti Ports and Free Zones Authority. Of course, we know a lot about the Djibouti port, having been mentioned as one of the most efficient ports in Africa by the World Bank, and it has actually mentioned as the third most with the highest traffic across the African continent in terms of traffic. So joining me now is Mr. HADI. Thank you so much for making time to be with us this afternoon. I guess first things first, of course, we've heard a lot about Djibouti ports and the terminals as well, which is the economic bloodline of Djibouti as a country. Perhaps just tell us, from all this great news we hear about Djibouti, what are some of the things that the country has done right?
Thank you very much. Now, what we've done right is a capacity building, human capital. We invested a lot on training, educations, and that's what we've done. And then we have developed the hard infrastructure, ports, roads, and also we invested a lot on IT system. So that's why we are successful in Africa. So everything is about human capital.
And what would you say currently is the status of Djibouti's port? We know there's a lot of infrastructure development that has been done so far. We also know the country has now begun having conversations on diversifying from relying heavily on the port. What are some of the things that you can say, the issues that the Djibouti port is currently facing and what the leaders are talking about?
So we are investing a lot on the blue economy, not only ports and transport, maritime transport, and or the inland transportation. We are also involved on the corridors, the roads. We are investing on energy, blue energy, green energy, I mean. So that's what we are doing, what they call in economy, vertical integration. Yeah. We don't want to depend on our business from others. Human capital, energy, infrastructure, all under the same umbrella. And we are investing a lot on gender also. We have 27 all female. And then we send to the Maritime Academy, ship captains, and also engineers. They are going to come back soon. They are navigating all of the world, Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean, Atlantic Ocean. Yeah.
So Djibouti, of course, from a geographic perspective, is a gateway to 3 different continents. How has that continued to impact the growth of Djibouti's maritime sector? And with the diversification that you're currently doing, how do you see that impacting the growth of the sector?
The most also important thing is about Djibouti is a location. You know, in the world, you have about 5 straits. You have the Suez Canal, you have Bab el-Mandeb, where Djibouti is located, you have Panama Canal, and we have crisis everywhere. You have Hormuz, Panama Canal, because of the climate change, they are lacking water to pass the ships from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean. So it's all about location, Djibouti, yes. So thanks to God, we are there.
So there's a lot of conversation now about the AFCFTA and a free market for Africa. Should that be realized, how do you see Djibouti specifically as a port city, or home of a number of port cities or port towns, benefiting from that?
That's going to be really a game changer, because the inter-Africa trade is only 14% among African countries. 60% Asia. Europe, intertrade between Europeans is 50%. So what we need, we have what we call physical barriers, roads, bridges, railways to connect Africa. About 95% of the trade of Africa is a maritime, not in the interland. So we need to connect the interland. And then we have the non-physical barriers, customs regulations. So the SELECA. SELECA is the English name or the French name of the common market? No, the whole continent. Okay. Yes. Yeah. In French, we call it SELECA. So when we have that in place, then we are done. But we have to build the infrastructures to connect all the countries in Africa. In the world, there is 47 landlocked countries, 17 in Africa. So we have to connect those countries who has no access to the sea. So it's a lot of money to build the roads, the bridges, the railway. And then when we go to the banks, the financiers, they'll say, there is no security, there is no peace in Africa. So it's becoming like the chicken and egg. And my vision is, let's move and develop the economy, and then peace will come. We cannot wait peace to develop the economy.
Oh, that's interesting. So develop the economy and peace will come.
Yes.
Tell me, as we wind up, at the Africa CEO Forum 2024, what are some of the issues on the table for the maritime sector? What conversations are you having? And what expectations do you have?
Really, we have a high expectation. We have issues on, as I mentioned earlier, on the land side, the interland, but also Africa, we have not deep sea ports. Let me give you an example from the east coast of the continent. From Egypt to Durban, South Africa, we have only 5 deep sea ports. So we need to build more deep sea ports. We need to equip the ports. We need to connect to the interland, and then the game changer, human capacity, human capital. That's important.
Thank you so much for making time to be with us this afternoon. I have been speaking with Aboubaker Omar Hadi, the CEO of Djibouti Ports and Free Zones Authority. You're watching Web TV. We'll be back in just a moment.